Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, who taught me this truth. Sincere shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. Title of this lesson right here: how can you still love the so-called white man after everything he's done to you? All right. And video is directed more towards the coons of our nation that suffer from Stockholm syndrome. Let's get what Stockholm syndrome is. A definition of Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is a psychological coping mechanism that causes victims to develop positive feelings towards their captors or abusers. Okay? Now, every Negro in America has an understanding of what happened during the times of chattel slavery, and the unspeakable horrors that the so-called white man put you Negroes through in that time period. Okay? He treated you Negroes like less than nothing, dogs. He treated the dogs better, actually. That's why he put those labels on Jake and called him 3/5 of a man, monkey, because that's how he viewed you. He viewed you as something that was under his foot, and it deserved to be Slovakia. The so-called white man viewed you Negroes as something to stomp on, something to oppress, something to dominate. He never looked at you as an equal. He always made sure in that time period to let you know that you were beneath him. Okay? And he put you Negroes through horror. He terrorized you Negroes. Even in the 1900s, when by that time in the 1900s, slavery was already abolished, because slavery stopped in 1865. But in 1950s, you had the Jim Crow era, where the so-called white man had rules and regulations for every Negro in America, that they would have to be separated from the rest of the society, build their own communities. Esau was chasing you out of the towns. He would he would kidnap a lot of your young boys and your young girls. He would rape the young girls, right, in those days, and then he'll kidnap the young boys and lynch them on trees, hang them from a tree, and make a public display out of it. That's what the so-called white man did to you Negroes, man. He terrorized you, man. And it really just appalls me that in 2024, right, you got so many of our people that will fight tooth and nail to include the devil into any community uprising. It's like mandatory with Jake. Jake has been so goddamn destroyed and dominated by the so-called white man for so long that they don't even see any way outside of his authority. They don't see anything outside of, him giving them permission to start a business, him regulating their cities, You know, they don't see anything outside of the so-called white man's power structure. And when I say the so-called white man, I'm talking about the bloodline of Esau, the Edomites, okay? Because not all so-called white people are Edomites, right? You got a lot of Israelites that look like so-called white people. So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the bloodline of Esau, you know, the real evil, sadistic, Israelite hatred-filled devils, okay, that they show in all of the slavery movies. Those type of devils, you see? And Jacob be the main one that'll scream out, they've changed, you know? That's not them anymore. We have to learn to deal with things with love. But people forget, okay? This society is constructed off of bloodlines and families, you know? And every bloodline and family passes down a tradition. They pass down, you know, characteristics. It's spiritual because that's your bloodline, you know? That's why they got something called generational trauma, to where the people in this present time didn't actually go through that trauma that happened, but they still received the latter effects, and their emotions, their insecurities, their personalities is framed off of that generational trauma, because it's a bloodline, man. You know? So the Edomites who raped, robbed, and murdered you Israelites, who beat you Negroes to a pulp, right? Those slave masters, those Edomites, they had children. They weren't just, you know, just beating Jake's ass and not repopulating. No, they had children, you know? Them Edomites had children. And those children's had children. And those children's had children. All the way up to where we're at now in 2024, okay? And you got common Edomites walking around like they ain't got nothing to do with, you know, this hatred that their forefathers, you know, had for us. Like that's not them. But that's why the scriptures say, for the iniquity of their fathers, the Lord is going to judge Esau, right? Because these Edomites that are walking around, these average, regular Edomites, yeah, they may seem harmless. They walk around with a tuxedo, no facial hair. Their voice is all soft, you know. Esau has turned into a flamboyant faggot nowadays. So he's been able to hide behind this good moral standing bitch ass nigga in the office energy. He's been able to hide behind that. But you know, his forefather was a slave master. His forefather invested into slavery. His forefather, you know, had a deep hatred for the Israelites. You know, a deep hatred for the Israelites, had a deep hatred for Gad. A lot of these Edomites that you see walking around, a lot of these niggas, they forefathers was going to war against the Native Americans. They was going to war against Gad and Reuben, you know? Real raw hatred for Jake, man. You know? You know? And that's something that Jake doesn't want to address. Everything that the so-called white man did, right? And the hatred that he still has for Jake. Because why hasn't he told Jake that they're the Israelites yet? Why is he still feeding you Christianity? You know? Everywhere you look, he got businesses and organizations set up in this society to destroy you. You know? hides your identity from you, turns your woman out against you. Child support. Margaret Sanger, Bill Gates' grandmother, which Bill Gates is he's a real Edomite, but his grandmother created Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is responsible for, at this point, probably a billion terminated Israelite children. This is the devil, man. Okay? And it really just appalls me that you Israelites, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're still stuck on stupid, and you don't want payback. You don't want retribution for what happened to you, man. You know? All Esau has done is just let you niggas integrate yourself into American sports, American TV, and he lets you get some jobs. And you niggas shut your fucking mouth. And now love is love. Well, that's why the Lord set the prophets up, okay, to remind everybody that the Most High has not forgot about the hatred that Esau has for his people. Let's get this right here, right? These niggas want to forget, okay? These niggas want to forget. You ain't gonna forget with the Lord. The Lord don't forget, okay? This might have happened hundreds of years for you niggas, but on the Most High's time, chattel slavery just happened 20 minutes ago. So the Lord is fuming about that, okay? The Lord is pissed off about that. This is Ezekiel 35 and verse 35. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel, right? And perpetual means everlasting, forever, okay? Esau will never accept you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. It don't matter how many times the black woman blondes her hair, or the Latin woman, she puts them blonde highlights in her hair, you know? It don't matter how many times you try to coon at the office, you know? You try to dim down your spirit so that way Esau can feel comfortable around you. And you even got sellouts of our nation who became celebrities in this society, right? And just to sit at the high table with Esau, they let this devil defile them and persuade them to participate in all sorts of demonic activity, you know, homosexual activity. You niggas did all of this shit for the so-called white man's approval, man. It don't matter how much you... It don't matter how much love you show towards the so-called white man, he will always have a hatred towards you. Because that's how he was created. He was designed to be the adversary of Jacob, the 12 tribes. All right? It says, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Meaning that Esau has never let up on his oppression. He's never let up on his dominance, his hatred that he's had. Esau is, to this day, sitting around brainstorming on ways to torture you Israelites. You know? Who do you think's in charge of all of the degenerate music that comes out? You know? Because when you listen to this crazy ass, sick ass music, Cardi B, Sexy Red, you know what I mean? NBA Youngboy, Yo Gotti. When you listen to these demonic ass niggas, all right? You listen to that degenerate filth. On the other hand, there are artists, musical artists out there that make more positive music. You know what I mean? More enlightening music, you know? More music to spark brain cells inside of your mind and create a positive flow in your thought process. Why is that not on the radio? Why is that not you know what I mean, getting the main attraction. Because the so-called white man, okay, he only wants to put out images and sounds that destroy you. Everything is to destroy you because he has a perpetual hatred. So these niggas want to sit there and talk about love is love and we should learn to forgive. The so-called white man hasn't forgot. This nigga put out a slavery movie of you Negroes getting beat the fuck up every year. He put at least like 3 of them out every year. You know? Because he want to remind you who's in charge. So Esau ain't forgot. It's just you niggas you've grown weak. Let's get this real quick. All right. All I put in Google was chattel slavery horrors. And this came up. It says millions of African-American children, women, and men were kidnapped. And that's the key word, kidnapped. Forced against your will. Okay? You niggas didn't have a fair shake with the devil and agree to come to this land. He kidnapped you. Okay? And even dealing with the Northern Kingdom. Okay? He came to this land and conquered you. He went to war with you. All right? And almost wiped you out. Okay? This man has gotten these riches through violent measures, man. Ain't nobody ever gave him no fair shake. He's a devil. It says, ripped from their families and homelands, their communities torn apart, their bodies commodified, their humanity denied. You see that? Your humanity was denied, man. Meaning that he treated you like a pig in the barnyard, man. You know? Forcing food inside of your mouth. Stomp your baby's head into the dirt right in front of you. You fucking Jakes, man. You make me sick. Okay? You Israelites, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans that just want to get along with this devil, you make me fucking sick, man. How could you read this? How could you know this and still give this man the benefit of the doubt? And also with everything that he's doing to you today. This nigga ain't stopped. He's gotten wiser. He's gotten better with his enchantments. He's gotten better with his torture methods. Here's another horrific fact about what Esau did to you Negroes. Okay, and he did this to all the tribes, right? Once he conquered the Northern Kingdom, he implemented these same strategies to break down, humiliate, and forever oppress you Israelites. It says, barbaric, America's cruel history of separating children from their parents. All right. And that's what Esau did. He would separate families, man. You know, and that's why you see a lot of the broken households that are going on today within you know, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans families, right? It's nothing but broken households. Okay. He was doing the same thing back in the day, but he was doing it by force. Now he's doing it by cunning deceit and, you know, deception. You know, in this society, he put the woman at the forefront and, you know, let her have access to various government benefits. And the agreement was she has to kick the father out the house, you know? So this is a big part of the devil's strategy to break up the Israelite household and to make sure that you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans don't have a strong family structure, you know? So he was doing that back in the day through like auction blocks, you know, on the slave plantation, you know, sell the child off to a whole nother slave master, sell the daughters off to a whole nother slave master, sell the wife off to a whole nother plantation, you know. This is what this devil was doing to you, okay? So I don't want to hear that love shit. I don't want to hear that we need to forgive and forget shit. All right? Because a righteous individual is going to want payback for everything that's happened to them, man. Dealing with this situation. Okay, the Lord said it is a righteous thing for me to recompense them that oppressed you, roughly paraphrasing. But the Lord said it is a righteous thing. Okay? In this case, retribution, payback is righteous, man. This devil deserves it. It says, a mother unleashed a piercing scream as her baby was ripped from her arms during a slave auction. Even as a lash cut her back, she refused to put her baby down and climb atop an auction block. Yeah, the Israelite woman back in the day was screaming and howling in agony when them devils ripped them babies out of her arms, man. You know, the Israelite woman was in pain. You know, it was a painful sight to see. This is a woman that will never see her child ever again. You know, she'll never see her child again. You see? And Esau did it with no mercy, laughing. It was a joke to him. Okay? And now you got the Israelite woman nowadays. She's been bamboozled into thinking that she don't need to have any children. If she gets pregnant by mistake, she'll just terminate the child. A lot of you motherfuckers are playing for Esau and you don't even know it. You're supposed to be listening to the prophets at this time, okay? You're supposed to be listening to the prophets at this time, all right? Because we're the ones that can educate you on, you know, who this man is, you know? But Jake don't want to listen. Jake think that we speak in hatred, you know? It says night and day you could hear men and women screaming, my pa, sister, or brother, taken without any warning. People was always dying from a broken heart. Yeah, this devil, he fucked you Jakes up so bad, man, that Jake was dying from a broken heart. You know? That's pure agony, you know? Because when them children was getting separated from their families, all right, the parents already understood that, one, they're never going to see their child again. Two, they can't defend their child. And three, that Esau was a sick demon. Okay? He was a pedophile. All right? Or just a mad scientist. So they knew that, you know, their child could end up in a worse position than they are, than they was in. All right? So that's all I want to get on this. But, you know, I just want to make this video to remind you Israelites on who this man is. Okay? All right? But a lot of you jakes, you ain't going to wake up until it's too late. To this devil put the micro technology inside of you. That's when, you might have you might have some jakes come back out with that revolutionary mentality of, oh, we got to go against the powers that be. This ain't fair. They treating us like cattle. But you niggas, you don't got a problem with it right now. You ain't gonna have a problem with it until this devil yank everything away from you and give you the bare necessities to live. That's when you gonna have a problem with it. That's when you gonna try to tap back into that Nat Turner state of mind. But it's gonna be too late. You've already been fully compromised, and your soul is compromised now. Now you got to be destroyed by the Heavenly Father, when all you had to do was listen to the prophets and clean yourself up, and the Lord would have defended you. This is Isaiah 30:12. It says, wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word. Right. And this word, okay, is good news. This is good news for you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's another thing that appalls me. How could you hate this word? How could you despise this word? This is liberating, man. We out there telling Jake, you are the children of the Most High. Nobody's on this planet is better than you. In the kingdom of heaven, okay, you're gonna sit on the throne, right? You're gonna get payback on your enemies. But Jake despised that because he wants the so-called white man to be included. If there's no future for the so-called white man of him keeping his foot on their damn neck, they don't want to hear it. So they despise this word. Okay? It says, hang on, let me do this real quick. Got to clock out the job. Clock out of my job. Okay. All right. Salakia. It says, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression. Okay. You trust in oppression. All right. And what does it mean to trust in oppression? Meaning that you don't want to leave this current situation that you're in. You love being taxed every step of the way by the U.S. government, right? When they ordered you Israelites to get that CV-19 injection, you niggas did that shit with no question. Okay? Those you a lot of you jakes, you trust in oppression, right? All the so-called white man got to do is threaten your comfortability and your lifestyle in this country. All right? And you ready to bend over backwards and give him anything he want. All right? And the Lord already said that America is not the kingdom of heaven. This place is going to be destroyed and it's not going to be inhabited anymore. It's going to be a desert land after the Lord get done with it. So this is not the kingdom of heaven. You weren't supposed to come here and get relaxed. You were supposed to come here, serve your punishment, and then in the latter days when America was about to be destroyed, you were supposed to wake up, repent to the Lord, and get ready for salvation. That was the original protocol. But you niggas, with your rebellious demon asses, all right, you want to walk side by side with the so-called white man, okay, and be his best friend, all right? That's trusting in oppression. Becoming this nigga thug, degenerate that the so-called white man has framed you to be. You trust in oppression. You become the identity that Esau has laid out for you. It says, in perverseness and stay thereon. In perverseness, okay, that perverse shit, that perverse, nasty, homosexual, laying down with animals, threesomes, orgies, okay? A lot of you Israelites are involved in that full blown. You see? A lot of you jakes are involved in that full blown. All right? And you love being here in America. You love America because America allows you to keep doing it with no proper punishment to stop you in your tracks, because you're your father the devil. That's what Esau is. Esau is that perverse creep in the background. Okay, you wasn't supposed to follow his ways and become just like him. The scriptures say you've outdone him. Your ways are more wicked than his at this point. All right? Esau's women ain't in the middle of the street twerking their ass off. Esau's men ain't in booty shorts popping their ass, being an all-out homosexual on camera. You know, and I'm going to keep mentioning this fat bitch-ass nigga named Saucy Santana. Lord willing, I do a video on that demon, because I keep mentioning him, so it's probably the spirit I do a video on him. Okay? Probably the spirit I do a video on that demon, man. You know? But you don't see Esau's men turning into Saucy Santana, okay, at that rate. You know? You do got some, you know, it is a lot of Edomites that are homosexuals, right? But the majority of them don't go all out like Jake do on that perverse shit. Okay? And that's why you niggas is going to be destroyed. That's why there's a 2/3 category. This is 1 Maccabees 1:11. It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, hang on. It says, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, right? And a covenant goes into contract, deals, agreements. You Israelites was not supposed to get to a point from chattel slavery to where this devil treated you like the scum of the earth. You was not supposed to get to a point of acceptance, right? And compromise yourself, your spirit, your entire identity, and make deals and treaties with this devil, man, just so you could survive in his country. Okay? That's why it says wicked men went out and persuaded many to go make deals with the heathen. Those are wicked men. So 2/3 are wicked individuals, okay, who want to be side by side with the devil. It says, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. You see? So that's going back to the point where I said a lot of these Israelites, a lot of these Jakes think that a future doesn't exist without the so-called white man keeping a foot up their ass. A future doesn't exist of them being kings, gods, and rulers of the planet Earth and other planets in the solar system. That's too high profile for the average Israelite's mind. If Esau ain't at the highest pinnacle, Jake don't want anything to do with it, because Jake has been beat down so much that they think that if we cause too much trouble, if we revolt too much, Esau's going to come down upon us. Well, that's why the scriptures say such a man only feareth the eyes of men, right? And not the Most High. You Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, you only fear the so-called white man. You don't fear the Most High. So you reverence him as a God. Okay? And the Lord is going to show you that he ain't no God. And he going to destroy him. And he going to destroy your motherfucking coon ass for following his demonic, satanic ass. Shalom.